All right then. So I'm sticking with blackjack for a little bit in these demos, and the plan going into this one is to repeat what I did before, and that is provide a demo of something that I've talked about frequently over the years. The simple fact that when you hit a table limit or when you hit a specific limit that you have preset, not the house, not the dealer, not the pit critter, not anybody else, but just you. Once you reach that point, then you can back away from a potential turnaround or from a difficult situation, drop back to a minimum bet, and save the turnaround until later. Suspend it, if you like. I did that with the demo that I posted earlier today on the 16th of January, and I'm just going to do it again. And I want to stress, I don't know what's coming at me every time I sort of start one of these things. I mean, there are these twerps out there who suggest that I've got some kind of foreknowledge of what's coming, and that's how I manage to win more when I win than I lose when I lose. I mean, there's some real brainless bozos out there, but the biggest brainless bozo of them all is going to turn it into the halfwit house in DC next week. Is it Tuesday? Oh God. Oh dear. Anyway, no politics. This is a no politics zone, right? So the plan is, or the rule is, that as soon as I hit, or I need to make a next bet, which is $1,000 or more, then I pull out or pull back, stay at the same table, start over, and just make a note, and then win back the suspended turnaround when I move up to higher rent country, to a pricier table. So there we are. +1 for the win. +1. To repeat. That's a double. That's a loss. So that's 2, 3, second. 2, 3 second, I think, yeah. Oh dear. 5, 6, third. Okay, got thrashed there, so that's 11, 6 minimum. Oh dear. It's got to be 12, 6 now, isn't it? Oh dear, oh dear. It's definitely 12, 6. It's not going well, this one, is it? 12, 12. Well, we finally got a jammy one. Okay, so it's 12, 6. Well, let's call it 13, 6, because I think that was a nasty bit back there. So 13, 6. And we're on the brink of a step back. Now, let's call it a retreat. Oh, I've forgotten what the bet was now. I just talk too much. So that's going to be 17-12 would be the correct bet. So we're at 4 minutes 20. 17-12. Which would be the third bet. All right. So now we fall back to and just start a whole new thing. And when I got 3, then I will move to the high rent country, into the hallowed halls, or whatever, the Fort Knox, or whatever they like to call it. It's funny, they have all these fancy names for these places, and there's one that Mr. HP goes into every so often. It looks like somebody's basement. I think it's on the 99th floor or something crazy like that, but it just looks like crap. So funny. 51. 1, 2, third. This is a nasty shoe, this one. Oh, I got a little better there, didn't it? 1, 2, third, so. Yeah, I was going to keep a note of how much is in the kitty here, but it doesn't matter because I'm going to do an Excel transcription at the end, which anybody can check against the video itself, against the demo itself. And I hadn't fallen back there, had I? That was a fresh one, I think. Oh dear, I've got to pay more attention. Plus another one. That's a repeat. That's a minimum. Plus one. Plus one. All of a sudden it's going our way and we haven't got any money out. Well, that's how it goes. No use whinging. That's a repeat. Yeah, and that's a double down. That went well. Minimum. Double down. Not so good that time. 51 second. Repeat. One, two. Eh. 3, 4. Oops. Not that it matters. 3, 4. Double down. Oh dear. Okay, so now we're on 11-8 drop. Well, I'll stay with this one for a little bit. That's a shame. Okay, so 11-8 it is. Oh! That's going to be 2x 1,000, and it's only the second bet, and that's at 820. So we've only got one left of these, so I'm going to drop back to the minimum. Just think of the little scrubby notebook in my back pocket in oh, I don't know, wherever, the Carson Valley Inn or somewhere like that. And then I take it to the expensive places. Oh, look at that. And turn it around. And we're going to do that again, aren't we? 51. That was supposed to be an easy one. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 2 drop. I kind of like to hit those, but so oops. So 3, 2 it is. That's 1, 2. Minimum. Blimey, that was hard work up there, wasn't it? That's just a repeat, yeah. It's got to be 51. I think I'm floundering a bit here. I think I'm doing something wrong. 3-4 is the third bet. Here we go. Well, that worked out. Okay, so 3-4. So back to the min. Didn't mean to do that. +1. I do have a sort of a wonky trigger finger sometimes. 51 second, especially at this end of the day. That's a repeat, I think. Yeah, back to the min. Double. +1. Repeat. Double down. So that would be 3-4 third. Okay. So at the end of the first shoe, which has taken a while because of my faffing around, we are 17. Now, what am I talking about? Oh, yes, we are. It's 17-7. Well, you know what I mean. 1,750 behind. But that's all coming back to us in a bit. Because we've got 2 right now. What was that? Well, that was a clear, wasn't it? And back to the minimum, I think. A pretty one. +1. 51 second. Repeat that one. Oh, very good. Minimum. +1. 51 second. Repeat. Bummer. Double for the push. That'll work. Minimum. +1. +1 more. Double down. Boy, suddenly we're catching cards, aren't we? Like a dealer. Me and my big mouth. Okay, that's a repeat. So that's 2-3 third. That worked. Minimum. +1. Oops. 51 second. Bugger. Push. Double. Mm-hmm. 51 seconds. So that's 3-4, I think. Third. That was unexpected. Okay. Minimum. +1. Waiting patiently for our third retreat. And it ain't happening. 51 second. 2-3 third. See what I mean? +1. +1. I think we came out ahead 1 there. So that's another +1. Plus max for the first time in this session. Repeat it. Repeat it. Okay, I think we're back to the minimum there. Double for the loss. Repeat that. Minimum. Oh, come on, give us a runaway, for goodness sake. Oh, shit, what did I do there? Oh, yeah, okay. Every so often it does it. It blanks out, you know, and then I'm thinking, oh, what did I press? What did I do wrong? Oh, well. Yeah, it was a big bet, wasn't it? Split those. Stand and stand. Okay, so that's 1, 2, second. Just can't lose. Famous last words. 51. Double for the push. Double again for the push. I think we're out. Double for the loss. Actually, I'm getting the wrist thingy here again. Repeat. Double down. All right, we're going to have to go into a third shoe, I think, because I want to complete this. Well, I suppose I don't have to, and I suppose I can just go and chase 2, but I would have been happier if there'd been 3. It's tidier. Odd numbers are better. +1. +51 second. Pum, 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 pum. 51 second, 51 second, 51 second. That's a repeat, isn't it? Duh. 2, 3, third. 5, 3, drop. 5, 3 it is. 1, 2, 3. 8, 6. Maybe it's happening. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. Okay, I'm not going to just chase after another one. I mean, we're nearly at the end of this shoe, so I'm just going to let it go now. We've got 2 to chase. Okay, so what we do is we go up to higher rent country, and just wait for the screen to change. I'm going to cut out all the middle nonsense, but I will tell you in advance. Okay, so we're now at the higher rent. We've got 2 to chase, 17, 12, which is a third bet. So we'll do that one first. And now it's 29, 24. which is 3, 2.5. And now it's a 1/2. Oh boy. All right, so we got that one. So that was okay. That turned around at 20:48. The timestamp is for my benefit, not yours. Sorry. So now we're going to do 2 times 1,000. That's the next bet, and this is only the second. 2 is the second bet. So it's going to be 4, and the only reason I'm allowing equal either side is that I've jumped up a couple of hundred there. I suppose I could call it 4, 4.5, but anyway, it's 4. Third bet. Okay, so that's 8-4. So we're at 8-4 times 1,000 at 21.50. Well, the timestamp doesn't actually matter because we're dropping back to the table minimum, which is oh dear, I messed up here, didn't I? Oh no, I didn't. Sorry. Table minimum. Yeah, there we go. It's late in the day, so sorry. Wouldn't you know it? Okay. So 8-4 we'll just ignore that win and stay at 8-4. That's a bitch, because now we have to go 8-9. And let me explain that. After a push, you don't normally double unless you can go from a regular bet to a turnaround bet. So 8-4 goes to 8-9. This could be expensive. And there we go. We're out. So we're all done. We got both of our suspended turnarounds. And, the only thing that I can say to you doubters out there, and I honestly don't think there are any doubters left bothering to tune into my demos. I think they've all had their say. I get some quite rude remarks made. Not as many as I used to, though. Back in the day, boy, oh boy, it used to be. I mean, back in the 90s, it was weird. And you know how strange people are, how they become a different animal. They become a really nasty person if they're hiding behind a fake name like me. I have to say to all of the guys, the professionals on YouTube who I may appear to insult, I'm not actually insulting them. What I am is simply recognizing that they are doing a job which they are being handsomely rewarded for by Google and by the casinos, and none of them can show you how to win, how to beat the house consistently, because they'd be drummed out of the brownies in no time flat. So, when I talk about these guys, I don't mean to insult them. I simply want them to know that I'm on to them. And anybody who wants to know my real name can Google it. I mean, it's simple enough. You take the anagram for Beat the House. That's my my stage name, or my because I don't have any interest in the kind of self-promotion that the Vegas Mats and the Mr. Handpays and the Brandon O'Briens and the Bobby Rivas's and all the other lower animals on the whatever, the Great Plains, whatever it is. I'm not interested in that. All I care about, and it sort of sounds silly, I guess, it does to some people, But all I care about is just getting as many people as possible to understand that these games can be beaten, but not without a strategy, not without commitment, not without confidence, and not without a shitload of money. Keeping in mind that the casino can wait you through a sudden run that might go in your favor, and luck goes both ways. So from time to time, a player is going to hit a streak, which is absolutely astounding, and the casino just knows that what's going to happen is that the player, male, female, whatever, there are actually only two genders, male and female, all this bloody crap that goes on these days. Oh dear. All part of Trump and the White House. They know that somebody who has a winning streak is more than likely going to come to the end of the will certainly come to the end of the winning streak and then think, well, I did that once before, so I'm going to do it again. And then they lose all their winnings plus a nice fat interest payment for the time that they held on to casino money. And, that's just how it is. But if you bet my way, if you bet progressively, but using a controlled progressive betting strategy, then you can kick some ass and go home with more money than you came to town with. But otherwise, sorry, peeps, ain't happening. Okay, so this particular data set was profitable, obviously, to the tune of almost $8,000. It was disappointing, though, to me, because for my purposes, for demo purposes, it's much better if I'm facing something really tough, which pattern betting then sort of kicks the crap out of, because that obviously helps my my argument that you don't have to win more bets than you lose in order to make money from pattern betting. But because I don't have control of the Wizard of Odds sim, whatever the twerps, idiots, nutcases, whatever they are, shills, whatever, in spite of what they say, I have no control whatsoever over what's coming down the pike from that thing. And I wouldn't want it, because what would be the point? So what I've ended up here with is a win, which is good, and it's got good demo points in it, so I'm going to use it. But it would be so much better if I'd had my challenge a bit tougher. But anyway, we are looking at 62 wins and 46 losses, so that's a flat AV that's actually player friendly. It's nearly 15%. So I don't exactly get a gold medal for kicking ass on this one. But let's see what happens. First of all, we've got. I'm doing this slightly differently from the last one, but the pink lines, the red bordered pink lines, are bailouts. When we sort of say, okay, so we don't want to make the next bet because it's getting a bit sticky, and we want to make those bets somewhere where we can't get interfered with, where we're not going to hit the table limit, we're not going to be in any risk. So we'll back out of that, and then we'll come back down to playing the normal way, which is what we're doing here. And then, in fact, because this particular set of this lot here, because they were going against us pretty consistently, they dealt us another nasty. So I bailed out here again. So that's the second retreat. And then we get into just, sort of ping-ponging backwards and forwards per the usual, nothing very exciting. And on we go, and all the way down to the bottom. And then we end up in a situation where I say, okay, that's fine. We finished that shoe, so let's now bail out, or at least, sorry, we've ended close to the end of the shoe, which is what you'll see in the demo. Okay, let's get out of that and then win back the retreats, the suspended turnarounds. And that's what happened. And like I say, I have no control over any of this stuff, and it might have extended longer, but even if it had gone on for longer, wouldn't have mattered. We'd still have won. And it is a challenge, I admit, to try and prove the authenticity and the validity, the viability, the honesty, the good intentions, all of that stuff. Because people in the gambling business are so used to having shit thrown at them, absolute bloody bullshit, and they're so used to being screwed by the casinos who, in spite of their pretense to be a decent, upright, honest businessmen, they are looking for ways all the time to just tighten the screws just a little bit, to squeeze a little bit harder, to dig a little deeper into our wallets. And, we've legitimized them, so their existence is our fault. Fine. Lots of people get tremendous entertainment and excitement out of getting their pockets emptied and their backsides whooped in casinos in Las Vegas and all around the USA and around the world in various places. I don't think there's anywhere on the planet quite like Las Vegas, because Las Vegas lost its way at some point when it was taken over. The mobsters all died off or killed each other, and so the accountants, the prod noses, slowly took over, and they started looking at the books and thinking, okay, well, we're already making a ton of money at gambling, but let's make a ton of money at everything else as well. So now you have to pay $350, $400 a night for a room that you're not going to spend any time in, and you have to spend $200, $250, $300 for a dinner that you might enjoy, but ridiculously overpriced. And anyway, enough of me ranting. All I'm trying to say in this this add-on to the demo is that once again the obvious has happened. I predicted it. I'll always be able to predict it. I will do more of these blackjack demos because there is no doubt that sort of most of the people looking for help are blackjack players. I will also do some with Baccarat, but I'm less concerned about that because the Baccarat Win Pro platform is so good at telling us what's going on, so that we've got a step-by-step thing going on, whereas the Wizard Blackjack Sim doesn't give us that benefit, and so it's useful for me to do an analysis in this form. Anyway, what have we got here? We've got we slumped a bit here. The lowest down I think was here, which was 3,100, and then we fell all the way down to nearly 2,000 from a high point of 763. So that we really weren't stretched much, and the average win over the average loss is only 116%. But that's because we really weren't challenged. And I would just forget putting up this this particular demo, but I want the one or two people who are bothering to follow me on this project, on this journey, I want them to see that I'm even-handed with these things. I would prefer it if it was as big a challenge as the last one was. It wasn't. Nothing I can do about it. There's still good information here, and just remember, you are in control. You are the boss. It's your money. You don't have to listen to anybody working for a casino telling, well, you can't place that bet or whatever. Just run everything yourself. Be in control. Set your limit for when you retreat or bail out or step back or whatever you want to call it. I like retreat. Suspend works as well, but that sounds a bit too much like hanging maybe, and lots of people around the casino, while you're thinking, they're not thinking, but they are standing up and sticking their neck in the noose and jumping. So maybe suspending doesn't work so well, but anyway, whatever you want to call it, stepping back, stepping down, whatever. Retreat has a bad connotation too, because it sounds a little bit cowardly. I don't know. I'll have to work on that. I mean, I've been working on it for years because I call it various. I have so many weird words that I apply to things that I do in these games. And now that I'm going much more public than I used to be, I mean, the blog has always been up front and out there. for the last 15 years or whatever it is, 16 years. But this is free form for me, which is, I guess, why I rabbit on as much as I do. And for those of you who don't have the patience, remember your speed button, your speed setting rather. You can double me up if you need to. But that's it for now. It was a win, and it's always going to be a win. And sometimes it'll be easy, like it was this time, and sometimes it won't. And of course, there were a couple of ridiculous lucky things here. There was $1,000 double down there, which paid off very nicely. We had a couple of lucky breaks, but in the first pardon me, sorry, finally last night catching up with me. In the first session, it was what am I doing? Uh-oh, I just did something dumb there. Ignore error. That's what I'm trying to do. There we are. I just don't like those little marks that suggest there's something peculiar going on with these things. There is not. Oh, that's funny. I thought I'd fixed that. Oh. Well, like I say, I do make little mistakes. There is a slight difference. Let me explain what I'm sort of hesitating about there, just in case you're interested. Yeah, action is normally what's in this column. But if you have a double down, like this one here, then this column is not accurate because you've had to put out an extra 50. So for that reason, there is a backup action column over here, which tells you the real cost. And what I meant to do here was to make sure that these columns, these numbers here, are all column AD. And instead I've left them at H. So I'm going to fix that. I hope. Okay. So now we've got a 39,425 down here, which is what is up there. So that's good. And yeah, we're doing well. We're doing well. Too much nonsense here, but my heart's in the right place, I promise you, and I am being as accurate as I possibly can. I do make mistakes. This bet here should have been 25, so the mistake cost me nearly 600. There was another error down here. This one should have been 200, and that saved me 100. And I guess I must have caught up with it here, but it was an error nonetheless. And then what was this one? The 25 there should not have been 25. It should have been 500 or 600. So that cost me. And this is the way it works with mistakes. I mean, sometimes they're a bonus, an accidental bonus, and just as often they kick you in the arse. So there you are. Anyway, I'm gone. Next time.